Imagine putting together an 8-person cable news panel where all 8 people have exactly the same view. That's called CNN. Here, watch a panel where every single person is mad in the same way about the Attorney General of the United States. Watch this.
It was excessive and suspicious to be pounding the table and pounding over the American people's head. This person spent an inordinate amount of time talking about, the Oprah moment of the feelings of the President of the United States. You've got to be kidding me.
I have to say, the Attorney General had an opportunity this morning to rise above the politics, and he blew it. That was completely inappropriate for the Attorney General.
Jeff, why are you chuckling?
Well, if this isn't obstruction of justice, I'd like to see what is obstruction of justice.
Glenn Greenwald is co-founder at the Intercept and joins us tonight. Glenn, where's the diversity in general?
This is one of the problems, I think, that allowed the media to just go so far off the rails, is that especially those 2 cable networks, but also even newspapers, pretty much prohibited dissent from ever being heard, so they constantly fed each other these conspiracy theories and told each other that they were on the right track every time they advanced it further, and never really had to confront anybody who questioned or challenged them in any way. I've spent the last 2 years debating everyone I can find who had different views than I had on this whole saga, because I wanted to make certain that the things I was saying were scrutinized and subjected to critical rigor. And that's exactly what they avoided, and that's the reason why they went so far off the rails. Like I said, the first time I saw one of your new show was when you had Adam Schiff on your set for 12 minutes, and you and he went back and forth and debated. That's what those other networks have refused to do, and that's why they're in such a bubble where they have no idea what's going on in the world.
So I think after today, my focus would shift naturally to how do you fix this? You need a functioning media, even if I don't agree with the people in it or don't like them or don't like who they vote for. You still need adults covering news and keeping the powerful, under a close eye. How do we fix this? They're so discredited and broken and unwilling to admit it. What do you do now with the American media?
It's really interesting. After the Iraq War, when the media helped the Bush administration convince the country to go to war based on false claims about the weapons program of Saddam Hussein, there was at least some self-reflection, some introspection, some journalistic assessment about mistakes that were made and attempts to reform. Here, I don't see any of that. If you listen to the media discourse outside of a few circles, they've just put collusion and conspiracy and all of those conspiracy theories they've spent the last 3 years endorsing, just flushed it down the toilet like they don't even exist, and just seamlessly shifted to obstruction, and then they're conflating them to claim essentially that they were right all along. And that is really the alarming thing. I think that in a lot of ways Donald Trump broke the brains of a lot of people, particularly people in the media, who believe that telling lies, inventing conspiracy theories, being journalistically reckless, it's all justified to stop this unparalleled menace. And that's a good thing for an activist to think and a really bad thing for a journalist to think.
So you don't sound hopeful that it can be repaired?
Well, you were talking just now about impeachment. Already Adam Schiff and Steny Hoyer have both said that they don't intend to pursue impeachment charges. I think that tells you all you need to know about their assessment of the political value here. They know that they've been discredited. And so I think that if Democrats on the Hill know that this whole thing has collapsed as a hoax, hopefully the media allies of theirs will come to that same realization and start to have at least a little bit of shame about what they've done to their credibility. And hopefully, I'm hopeful that that will happen, though I don't necessarily think it's inevitable.
You never grow unless you're ashamed. I've never learned anything except through failure and shame. And so I think that's a human truth, so I hope they do. Glenn Greenwald, thank you. You were right. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Thanks, Tucker.
In this case, thanks.